Hello, my name is Mrs. Melanin.
And I'm BELEAF Mel.
And we're here with episode 172 of That's I keep doing that. Hello, my name is Mrs. Melanin.
And I'm BELEAF Mel.
And we're here with episode 172 of How Married Are You?
Okay, my name BELEAF. This is Eva, and we've been married 12. Live in California, and we got
four kids.
Relationships scary. It's very necessary. We share our love struggles. We ask
how married are you?
Every Tuesday and Thursday, shawty. If you're listening, you're in the wedding party. It's okay if you want to put your hands up. You got the questions, we got the answers.
It's chocolate baby story time.
Chocolate baby story time.
It's chocolate baby story time.
1, 2, 3, and...
It's chocolate baby story time.
Alrighty. Chocolate baby story time. We got back from a trip, and upon arrival to the home, there was birthday celebrations for mom here, and man, it was balloons on the ceiling, it was cake, it was amazing, and Uriah took basically full credit for the entire cake. He was like, he definitely helped Bree make the cake, but he didn't do as much as it seemed like he did. And he took all the credit and didn't care nothing about it. And I just was like, I like that he acknowledges himself. Something good I don't have about me, you know what I'm saying? But I recognize it, and yeah, I like that about him.
Yeah.
What you got?
I want to talk about you and Raya Bo. So I don't know what morning that was, but the other morning, I think it was yesterday morning. The days are starting to really be a blur.
Yeah.
Yesterday morning, I walk out of my room, and like the kids' bathroom is like right to my right when I walk out of my room. And I'm looking at Raya, and he's in the mirror with a white t-shirt and a suit jacket on, and he is brushing his hair to the side. His dad had just cut down the sides of his hair. You guys know his haircut. Hopefully you do. And he is like, you know, he's in the mirror. He's feeling himself. He's styling himself and all the things. I opened up the door because I could only see his reflection in the mirror. So the countertop was blocking the lower portion of his body. When I opened the door all the way, he has on pajama pants.
Yeah.
So just picture this in your mind, this child feeling himself or whatever. But then, you know, later in the morning, he gets downstairs and Glenn's like, take it off. Now, mind you, Raya is a big boy. He is a big boy. And the suit jacket was probably 2 sizes too small for him. But he still was making it work. And I love the fact that he likes to dress up like that. And I told Raya, I was like, don't worry, Raya, we'll just get you a new one for your birthday. Because his birthday is this month or whatever. And you said no. Why?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if we get it from the swap meet or something.
Like Goodwill or something.
Yeah.
So
like,
don't spend a lot of money on it.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, he just be wanting to wear stuff. He thinks he looks so good.
He is.
He looks, I said, because instead of saying it's 2 sizes too small, I said it's 2 years too small. And it looks bad, babe. I mean, okay, so I tell you like this. I used to work at Men's Warehouse, right? I used to work at Men's Warehouse.
How often does that come up?
I used to work at Men's Warehouse. I think as a CSA, right? Okay. And I was also a salesman. But I also, during my time there, learned how to sew like bottoms, like put pleats and plain bottoms on pants.
Okay.
So I'm very much aware of all the alterations that he needs in order to make it fit. He needs a raised back. He needs his sleeves lengthened. He needs a whole new suit. It doesn't fit. So I'm just kind of like, when I see him wearing it with pajama pants and he's styling out, I just like, hey man, take it off, bro. And I'm sorry, man. It's like, would you let our children walk around saying that 1 + 1 is 3?
No, but that's different.
I know it's different to you, but
It's not
to
different
me,
to
I'm
you.
like, I'm just looking at it, I'm like, bro, it don't fit you.
Mm-hmm.
And not only does it not fit, it's a 3-button suit and he only has the top one button. And
You know what? Really quick.
That top button is holding on for dear life.
Yes.
And I'm just kind of like, bro, take
No,
that
but
off.
then Glenn was like, you at least need to button the top 2 buttons. And so he buttons
He goes,
the top.
okay, click.
But then, babe, later when he actually did go change because it was a shoot day. Later when he did actually go change, he came to me and said, "Mom, help me. I can't unbutton."
Yeah. So he just
I
needs
was
another
like, poor
jacket. I'm
buddy.
okay with. I just don't know. Like,
Babe, I just think. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
no, I just don't know. Like, if he wants to dress up like that, but we live in California, there's no reason for him to dress like
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He if he wants to be hot and whatever, then let him be hot and whatever. But I really think this is a nice opportunity to let him explore fashion.
Okay,
And like
I
putting
agree.
things together.
You're right. You are so right.
Because what?
Anaya dresses.
Crazy. Today she
I didn't
has
say
on.
that. I did not say that. I
Okay,
do
she
not
don't
agree.
dress. She doesn't dress crazy, but she be putting, like, for example, today she had on some like brown and black leopard pants and like this Old Navy floral dress together and her black chucks, and it's cute because it's a girl and it's mixed match patterns and
yeah.
whatever. But I feel like Raya should get that same type of energy.
Now okay. Now here's the thing. Uriah has been doing this for years already.
Yes.
I think at this point
What?
he needs to learn like actual etiquette.
Okay, so then you should teach him that.
Yeah, but we can't afford that right now. But I understand what you're
But the
saying.
thing is, we could go to like a thrift store, a second, like that Once
Yeah.
Upon a Child store, and like let him just go in there and just look, and then you or I help coach him on like what goes
Okay,
well
you
together.
done hem his pants?
I can hem his pants.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
because that's probably what we need. And you're right, because he does explore fashion. But do you remember him coming out, jean jacket, no shirt on, paper bag over his face? Like, do you remember all the different outfits?
Oh, do we have pictures of these?
Oh
We
my
need to
gosh.
make a collage.
I'm sure there's something on Instagram
we
stories.
have to make a collage.
Yeah, you're
Oh
right.
my
I did go
gosh.
hard on him, and I apologize. I got to apologize for him for a couple things. So I'll apologize for that because I was wrong.
And I really like, even the outfit he chose for me on Mother's Day is not an outfit that I would have put together, but
it was fly.
It was cute.
It was fly.
So I just think he has an eye, and I really want to like not discourage that.
But he also should know that he should not be listening to haters. You know what I'm saying? And so
True.
You know.
And I think he does have that energy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because he looked at me like, bro,
Whatever.
I don't care.
Yeah. Can we get somebody to turn on the AC?
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I love how him, Anaya, and Uzi will like go and style each other. Do you know that about them?
Oh, no, I do not.
Yeah, so Anaya and Uzi have this thing where they'll pick out each other's outfit for the day, or they'll try to match before they even come out of their room sometimes. And I heard them this morning say, well, we're not matching. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. But Raya too will go in there and like help pick out outfits sometimes. I don't know if you are aware of that, but yeah,
I did not know that.
it's a thing. So yeah, I'm actually enthusiastic about Raya and his fashion sense. I think you and Raya have that in common because you two are very fashionable, and sometimes you put together things that I would have never like whatever, but because you are who you are and you have the swagger of yourself.
I mean, swear confidently.
Yeah. And I think Raya has that same energy.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pull that off when we go to Miami.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we get into the podcast topic, I want to let y'all know that the How Married Are You live event happening July 28th through the 29th is going to be phenomenal.
Special.
Every single person we asked so far has said yes. And let me tell y'all something. I asked people thinking they were going to say no. You know, I'm the type of person that'd be like, let me just ask. It doesn't hurt. If they say no, I'm prepared for their no. You know what I'm saying? It won't hurt my feelings. I understand.
Yep.
But everyone has said yes. And we're waiting on one response, and we'll let you know how that one goes. But everyone has said yes, y'all. So the people, the special guests that we're inviting to pour into you and your relationship and your marriage and even your singlehoodship, they're ready. They're ready. They know it's going to be bomb. So I really hope that you guys aren't waiting to buy tickets. I understand there are logistics that you may have to work out because of childcare and work schedules and all the things, because we be last minute like that. However, you got about 50 days.
Yeah.
You
Especially our LA people. Make sure y'all come.
Yeah, if you're in LA or even in California or Arizona or Nevada, y'all should be here. It ain't that much for a plane ticket over here.
Can I have a fruit snack?
Yeah, it's in a diaper bag.
Okay.
If there's none in the diaper bag, look in the cabinets.
And go wipe your nose off. You got snot on your face.
There's wipes in the diaper bag.
Both sides. Yeah, come to How Married Are You Live, July 28th and 29th. Link is in this.
Yeah, if you come for both the 28th and 29th, you are purchasing a VIP ticket. If you can just make it on the 29th, it's general admission.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
The link to the tickets is in our bio. It's also on our website, howmarriedareyoupodcast.com. It's also in our, what's it called? Instagram.
Link in
bio thing.
Link in bio, yeah.
So there's the links all over the place. Now, if you are listening, I hope that I have the right link. Like if you're listening in a podcast app, I need to update that link. And hopefully by the time you hear this, I have done that.
Yep. Anaya. All right, whatever.
Okay, so we have an email, and the email goes like this. Hello, Yvette and Glenn. I'm 30 and have been married to my husband, who is 29, for almost 2 years. I want to focus on what I love about him first: his unwavering love for me and his dedication to taking care of me. It's a refreshing change from what I witnessed growing up, where my father didn't treat my mother with the same kindness. My husband comes from a religious family where attending church was the main priority, which has left him lacking in certain life skills. Despite this, I overlooked his flaws, and because he's an amazing person. However, before we got married, I noticed that he struggled with paying bills on time, standing up for himself, so he throws me under the bus, and taking care of his responsibilities. He also has difficulty with self-awareness and taking accountability, which has caused him to lose every job he's had and even gaslight me at times. What does gaslight mean? I don't know if I understand that term to its fullest extent.
Let's look it up because I understand it only in context. Like, why guess when you can just look up the meaning? That's not what you want to click on.
Or should I just say?
It's like when you it's like
gaslighting is a form of manipulation that often occurs in abusive relationships. Gaslighting is the subjective experience of having one's reality repeatedly questioned by another.
I didn't think it was that. I thought it was like when you're like, it's almost like you're trying to insult someone, but not fully doing it. So it's just kind of like it's like you're giving them enough that if they just respond to it, it's like they blow up. But you actually started the gas. Like you get used to, it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I think it is.
Okay, this is another definition. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which the abuser attempts to sow self-doubt and confusion in their victim's mind. I'm going to keep reading.
Yeah, I don't know if that fits.
Let's see. Which has caused... Okay, I'm going to start that sentence over. He also has difficulty with self-awareness and taking accountability, which has caused him to lose every job he's had and even gaslight me at times. This makes me anxious because I don't feel secure, like I can't rely on him. Although I don't blame his upbringing entirely for his behavior, I do think it has played a part. Yet at what point does he take control of his own life and make changes? I struggle with respecting him, even though I love him, because of these issues. I wonder how he can teach. I our future children important life lessons when he's still learning himself? Should we hold off on having kids until he grows up more? And am I being too harsh? These are difficult questions to grapple with. I feel like when I talk to people about it, they tell me why am I with him? And I don't tell the whole world about my issues, just a few trusted friends. I love him and want to make our relationship work. We are both undergoing individual and couples therapy to help us navigate these challenges. Thank you for taking the time to read my email. Your podcast has been a source of invaluable insights on marriage, and I appreciate your rawness.
Her question was, again, what was her question?
She asked a few. She said, at what point does he take control of his own life and make changes? I struggle with respecting him. Should we hold off on having kids until he grows up more? Am I being too harsh? Yeah.
That's tough. That is really tough because I would say, so if I have a friend, right, and I know my friend, and I'm not saying that he's my friend, because I don't kick it with people like that. I try not to hang out with people who are always blaming other people. You know what I'm saying? Like blaming other people for their problems.
I don't think he's blaming other people for their problems. I think she's trying to attribute his upbringing to who he is. I know this.
Well, she said his lack of self-awareness has allowed him to lose every job that he's had. So it's like he doesn't take any accountability. Like, where do you find that type of guy at? Because I don't know where they go. But I would say that usually I would say, bro, having the child grows you up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hold on. Having a child grows you up, and it's one of the best things that you can do. However, it seems like he's a child. So I would not advise having a baby with that man. What do you think?
Okay, so I was going to talk about the fact that they are 29 and 30 years old. Now, you and I got married when we were 23 and 25 years old. Now, it sounds like we were different types of people than this couple in particular.
You were a different type of person. I believe I was different too.
Yeah, you weren't necessarily on this young man's level. But it's interesting because I have this thought. I think my earrings are making too much noise. Sorry, guys. That when there are different variations of that age group. Now, mind you, that's only 6 and 7 years younger than me, right? How old am I? I'm 36. Y'all, I just celebrated a birthday. Happy birthday to me. Anywho.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, babe. But like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is the 29 and 30-year-old versions of the current generation of 29 and 30-year-olds is different than us when we were 29 and 30-year-olds.
Okay.
I feel like when we were 29 and 30, there was this level of maturation that happened that's not necessarily happening for this age group.
I disagree.
Come on. Hold on with me here. I think it was Keke Palmer. Is that her last name?
Sure.
I saw her post an Instagram post the other day, and she was talking to like this age of people. And she was like, you guys, I forget how old she is. Dang it. But she's like, I've been doing this for 20 years. I think she must be 30. I think she's 30.
Okay.
And she's like, I've been doing this for 20 years. And because we live in this this world of like social media and everybody's like trying to be wealthy and do all the things, people are seeing the highlight reel of people and thinking that they're 29 and 30 and they're supposed to be where that person is.
Yeah.
But she's like, I've been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah.
So if you were where I am now, then it wouldn't make sense because you haven't put in the work.
Right.
Like you have to put in the work. And so what I guess I'm trying to say is that 29 and 30 is 23 and 25. You know what I'm saying? Like they're still, for some reason, they're old, but for some reason, I feel like they're like still babies. And there's a level of maturation that needs to happen, and he still has time for that. Now, I'm not trying to make an excuse. There is definitely a need for him to take accountability and like put in the work. But it sounds like that's not a norm or a precedent that has been set for him up to this point. And so I believe that he deserves more time. If they are in both individual and couples therapy, then it will come, right?
I don't know. I mean, some people just like having a place to vent. They don't really want to change. Like therapy.
Well, then what does that say about the therapist?
Well, the therapist only knows what you tell them. We know that. So if I go to my therapist and I'm like, yeah, man, you know, I've done this and this and this and this. Oh, man, I'm so proud of you, man. Keep up the good work. Da-da-da-da. Like, who's he going to? He's not going to call you and be like, hey, is he really doing all this? You know what I'm saying? So therapy only works when you make it work.
Yeah.
I would, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, the other thing I was going to say is I think that it's great to have like therapy, but I also think that it sounds like this young man, and I don't know how you do this because I feel like we as women were like, go get a mentor. But it's like you have to go find them or whatever. And so I think what I would suggest is finding a couple that you admire and just inviting them to hang out. Not necessarily saying, hey, will you mentor me? I think that could be valuable too, like being honest. Hey, I need a mentor.
Yeah.
But I think that's what he needs if he can't get it from his dad, which it seems like is a challenge.
This right here, this first sentence, however, before we got married, I noticed that he struggles with paying bills on time, right? That's a yellow flag to me, right? That's bad, but it's not as crazy, right? Because you could just set up a timer or have an automatic withdrawal, right? You don't have to be late on your bills, right? Standing up for himself, so he has a problem with, he struggles with standing up for himself, but he's okay to throw his wife under the bus. That right there, that's a red flag to me. You can't stand up for yourself. So instead of being like, hey, I won't take responsibility. Oh, yeah, like, don't talk to me like that. Talk to her like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like, how are you, like, you disrespecting your wife in front of people? That's crazy. Is that? And taking care of his responsibilities. That's pretty vague. He also has difficulty with self-awareness and taking accountability with,
Which has
caused him to lose every job he's had and even gaslight me at times. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that this disqualifies him from having children. I think I feel like this is information that was had before marriage, no?
Yeah, she said before we got married, I noticed these things. So you're saying if she noticed these things before they got married, she shouldn't have got married?
Well, I mean, like, I would definitely change my... I think honestly, it takes a while for therapy to take, like, hold in like, you to get fruit from it. I don't think that he is disqualified from having children or anything like that. But I do think that she needs to be able to express these things to him so that he can understand where the growth areas are, especially if they're in the couples therapy. Like, there should be no reason why she can't say some of these things spread out over a couple months. Right?
I agree. I feel like...
What do you think about these red flags?
I noticed that he struggled with paying bills on time. So, you know me. If I noticed that and it didn't necessarily bother me, I would just... like,
pay the bill.
I pay the bill. So it's like, I don't necessarily, and I think it's different for every household, but I don't necessarily believe that we should have separate bank accounts. All the money gets deposited into one account. I can just as easily, like, if that's a weakness of his, I can take over paying bills. Make sure all the bills get paid on time. You know what I'm saying? If he's showing up for work, then he should be getting a paycheck every whatever. As far as standing up for himself, so he throws me under the bus, I definitely think that is something that is just, I feel like it's a conversation, but I don't know like what conversations have happened with them, you know? So it's hard for me to say, but I wonder what she means by can't stand up. I wonder if that means like, because he doesn't stand up for himself, she often steps in to stand up for him and ends up receiving all the punches. You think that's what it is?
I think it's like, to me, it seems like who would pick on him, right? Maybe his family. And so instead of like standing up for himself with his mom or his dad, he could be like, and this is all speculation, but he could be like, yeah, well, that's not what we do in our house.
Do you hear that?
Yeah, it's the.
Oh, is it next door?
Yeah, they're moving in.
Okay. Oh, people are moving in.
Yeah. So like, they could just, pick on him, and then he's like, yeah, like she does it too. You know what I'm saying, or something like that.
Yeah, that one I feel like is something that I probably would have been like, oh, he'll grow out of that.
Yeah, but you also excuse a lot of people's behavior.
I do. But I also think it's a matter of like once he's in therapy, he will learn to establish boundaries. You know what I mean? Like that's not necessarily something that's taught well, at least to like our generation and generations before us. So I feel like.
What do you mean? Standing up for yourself? Is it something that our generation? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's happening?
Go ahead. I was trying to fix it.
Boundary settings.
Boundaries. With family.
Boundaries in general. Like what type of behavior you will receive or allow toward you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why are you smiling?
I like you.
Do you?
I like you, yeah. That's why I'm smiling. What's wrong with you?
Your smiles are kind of facetious. Like
I'm telling you exactly how I feel. Exactly. There's nothing more to read in.
See? A boundary. I receive it. I'm going to believe you, take you at your word.
Do you think this woman should have kids with this man or not?
I think they definitely need to wait a little bit. If he can't keep a job and he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, children don't get expensive. I guess diapers are expensive, but I feel like children are most expensive now, like our age kids.
Well, it depends. They can get sick. Anaya's always been expensive.
Oh my gosh, Anaya's been expensive. I mean, if you don't have health insurance, that is like the worst. I don't think, I do want to answer her question. She said, am I being too harsh? I do not think you're being too harsh. I think you're being very responsible and thoughtful. You're being reflective and you're being wise. I feel like, I just feel like you are taking a look at the whole picture and you're saying, hey, I can't go with this. I think, and I know, and you said almost 2 years you've been married. I would say wait 5 years. So at year 5, maybe year 4, maybe on your anniversary at year 4, start trying to have kids or something.
I think if you plan on like waiting till he grows out of this, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that you, like, this is like, yo, I need you to grow up more, man, if you want to have some babies. I want to have babies, but I don't want to have no babies if this is how you are, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to grow up. I don't like how you treat me. I don't like the way you treat yourself. I don't like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I think if you say it all like that, depending on what type of man he is, he might be immature and he might take it some type of way and go cry, right, about it and not change, right? You can cry, but change, right? If he is one of the type of guys who can, take criticism, well, then I would just tell him, hey, these are the things that where are some areas I could grow in? Here's some areas you can grow in. You know what I mean? But I don't think every man is able to receive it well. Even that would be harsh coming from Yvette to me.
Yeah, I think the wisest place to share it is in couples therapy. So, like, I don't know how your couples therapy sessions are, whatever. Sometimes we would pick up where we left off or whatever. However, sometimes it would be like, what's at the top of your mind? and one of us would bring something up. And I feel like that's a safe space for you to be able to express yourself and for your therapist to help you articulate it in a way for him to receive it well, and then it's something you guys can talk through together. You know what I'm saying? You can be like, these are the things that make me uncomfortable with having a child with you right now. But I do believe if you are beginning to see growth, there is still hope. If there is growth, there is hope, because we should just be growing.
Yeah, I think I make the first ask very small to see if he could do it. Like, bro, this ain't hard. You know what I mean?
Like what? Give an example.
Like, so, paying the bills on time. Like, just say, hey, can you set this bill up for auto pay? You know what I'm saying? Or, just ask him to do something really small to see if, hey, this is an area I think you can grow in. Can you do this? Mm-hmm. And depending on how he reacts, man, I don't think I'll need to do that. Then like, man, this is like the smallest thing on my list, and you can't do none of this. If you can't just do this, you can't. You're not gonna be able to do any of this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So maybe just kind of lay it out for him, just very small. Like, hey, can you do this one thing? Can you work on this? Because I feel like, finding a mentor, right?
I think that's a great start.
So hey, find a mentor. And if he's always, I can't find nobody. I don't know nobody wants to. I don't have. You know what I'm saying? If he keeps on all these excuses, kind of like, bro, like, just figure it out, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just figure it out. And that's difficult too, man, because, being in a season where, like, I have, like, I don't have time to freak out about stuff anymore. Like, it is what it is, and it's happening. A part of it, just dealing with whatever it is. That's the only thing I can do, is just deal with it. You know what I mean? And that seems very callous in this, like, therapized, like, state that we live in, and you can choose your hard, or like you can stop if you want to, you know what I mean, like all these things that we say, or protect your peace, right? Like, some of the stuff that I have to do is destructive and has no correlation to peace. It just needs to get done, right? Like, if I have to let go of an employee, there's nothing peaceful about that, except for when it's over. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just hurts. It's painful all the way through. If you have to break up and lose a relationship, it's painful all the way through. And maybe a month afterwards, you're like, why was I tripping off that? You know what I mean? But during the process, it's hard. So you have to do hard things, right? And finding a mentor is hard. Being in a relationship where someone throws you under the bus, that's hard. But don't be passively hard. Like, be intentionally hard. Like, tell him how you feel about the things that he's doing and how it makes you feel. If he throws you under the bus in front of people, either pull him to the side and say, you know what, that really hurts my feelings, or just right then, it's so sad you would choose this moment to throw me under the bus. That really hurts my feelings. And let that awkwardness sit. And let it fill the room, and let everybody hate it. That way they know not to with you again. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody should know where you stand. Like, nah, I don't think you should be treating me that way, and I'm going to call you out when you do it, because it's not fair. I wouldn't do that to you, and I don't think you should do it to me. That's not safety in the marriage. That's not the vows we took, So
I even think it's worthwhile for you to seek mentorship too. I had a mentor for a few months. Well, I had a woman that I was intentionally meeting with for a few months. And I would often like express things to her about like what's happening in our relationship. And she would encourage me on how to approach it. She would give me practical things that were easy things to do, like adding things to Glenn's schedule, his calendar. You know what I mean? Like, just different things to help, because I don't know. It was just a thing that she did. Like, there were practical things she gave me to do to approach Glenn in a different way. And so I feel like mentorship will be great for him, but it could also be wonderful for you to be able to be in a relationship with someone who's older and been married for a while and can give you kind of some wisdom on how to approach certain situations specifically. Because I feel like you didn't necessarily give a specific. This is a very broad overview of things. And so it's kind of challenging for us to really know for sure, is he ready to have kids? He's obviously not ready to have kids. But yeah.
But he's not. He may be a great father.
True.
He
Very
may just be
true.
a fantastic father. Like, how do we know whether or not he's ready? Only he could tell you that.
Yeah.
You know, but I think what's good about, like, sometimes with our situation is that we'll say, hey, Yvette will say, hey, like, are you willing to do this? And I'll go, well, I got to know what you're asking me. What are you asking me to do? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And she's like, just do it. We're just going to do it. Right. And then, like, 2 weeks in, I'm kind of like, this is more than I expected. Mm-hmm. Here's what I expected. Here's what I'm now doing. So let me clear my schedule and say, this is what I know now. This is what I'm going to have to do and how I'm going to have to show up. And so it's a different conversation then, So if like, if he's saying, hey, like, when you get married, my expectation is that you wouldn't be looking for a job every 3 months.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my expectation is that you would have a consistent job for 2 years, and when you would want to transition, it would be your decision, and barring unforeseen circumstances, it would be your decision that you would not be at that company, and it would be a group discussion, not just something that you would do, right? And once that happens, and he can go, okay, if I don't do this, then obviously I'm breaking some type of code in our marriage, and I'm not doing what you expected. And so I feel like that's really thorough communication. If you say, hey, I think we're ready to have kids, like we're in a perfect state, like age. Here's what this will probably look like. I will be home with the child, or you will be home with the child, or whatever the situation is, and you would figure out these different things, and you would pay all the bills and make sure all the food is ready, or whatever. And he's kind of like, well, I don't know how to cook nothing but spaghetti. Well, my friend, you might want to start learning how to cook more things, or paying some bills, or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. If you communicate that now, and he goes, okay, well, I'm not ready. Obviously, I've got growing up to do, because I know that I want to step into this season, and I want to be great in this season and be everything my wife needs me to be. And I think that's fair. That's only fair for him.
Yeah, I think her biggest thing is, like, she doesn't want to bring a child into this world while being married to someone else that she has to take care of. It's very challenging to have to tend to the needs of someone who actually really needs you to tend to the needs of them, and then have to tend to the needs of someone who should know how to tend to certain needs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I completely understand the concern.
Mm-hmm.
How married?
You speaking like it's from experience.
No. I mean, when it's time to get out the house, sometimes I feel like,
I'm slow.
Goodness gracious.
Because I don't ever want to go.
Exactly.
But when I go, I'll be glad I'm there most of the time. Most of the time.
How married are you? Because you have a call.
Yeah, I'm so married. We were on a plane, just Yvette and I. We were on a plane, and I was hungry. And I pulled out a beef stick, and I was about to eat it. And Yvette goes, that's going to stink. And I just put it right back in my bag.
I was more so.
And she goes, no, you can eat it. I was like, no, I'll be hungry for you.
It wasn't for me. I was trying to be considerate of everybody else.
Who cares about them? We on a plane. We are on a plane. If somebody, ain't nobody holding a fart for 5 hours.
Wouldn't you be pissed off if someone opened up a bag of corn nuts and just started eating corn nuts on the plane? That would be the most disrespectful thing ever.
Yvette.
What?
The other night, you started making out with me after just chewing popcorn. Just chewing popcorn. I was going to use that as my next how married are you. You just, kernels in your mouth. You didn't give a damn.
Babe, hush. Ask me how married I am.
Is it true?
Babe.
Answer the question. Is it true?
Did you taste some of the kernels?
Babe, it smelled like popcorn in your whole mouth. This whole front area was all popcorn. I was like, oh my gosh, how rude is this? You know how hard it is to summon an erection while you...
Get me out of here. I'm so embarrassed. Oh my God.
How married are you, man?
No, I don't want to talk to you. Oh.
Babe, you talking about inconsiderate. How married are you, babe?
Well, I'm still married.
Go ahead.
So we are on a plane, like Glenn said. And mind you, what happened? Okay, so we left on a Friday morning, early Friday morning. And we got into long story short, we didn't get much sleep before we got on the plane because we had to be there I think we had to leave at like 4:45 or something in the morning. I think we got maybe 3 hours of sleep.
And we had a wedding the night before.
So, we're tired. So we get on the plane and Glenn conks out. He's done. So first of all, I'm so married that I let him have the window seat that time. Because the rest of the times I didn't.
How married are you again?
I'm so married I let him have the window seat. But Glenn conks out and he sleep. But he is snoring. Snoring. And so I'm having this like internal discussion. Should I wake him up? Should I let him sleep? Should I wake him up? Should I let him sleep? Would he rather everyone hear him snoring like this? Or I think I took a video.
Oh my gosh. No, you did not.
I don't know if I did or not.
Oh my goodness. If you did, your mom smoked crack. You a crack baby.
What? But when was this? Okay. So anyways, he was snoring. And I was like, should I let him sleep or should I wake him up? Where is it?
You ain't got it.
I don't have a video of it. Dang. I think I thought about taking... Oh, is that it? No, that's not it. I thought about taking a video and I didn't. That's how married I am. No, but anyways, I ended up deciding he didn't get a lot of sleep the night before. He should sleep. So I'm so married that I let my man have the loudest rest on the
And
that's just how married we are.